Hey guys, what's going on? Abby here. Welcome back to another Outriders video. Today's video is an update to the turret slash DoT Techno AP build because guess what? Your girl got the Seismic Commander helmet last night. I was so excited when it dropped because this armor really is a unicorn piece out there in the wild. And for those of you guys that have tinfoil hats, I have not completed Eye of the Storm on this character and it dropped from Drought Palace. But once I got this helmet, I really wanted to test it out, so I hopped into Boom Town and we tested out some different skill trees and also just using the legs for the bleed boost without the gear set versus using the gear set. The gear set performed a lot better, so I'm going to show you guys this gold CT15 run of Boom Town that I was able to do with this, which is amazing for AP Techno. And if you can gold Boom Town, you pretty much can gold any other expedition. But let's take a quick look at the gear that I'm running and the skill tree since it is a little bit different from my other video. Taking a look at the weapons, you'll see I'm still rocking this Inferno Seed with Wrath of Moloch and Ultimate Bone Shrapnel. For my off weapon, I also have a Shell Rogs with Ultimate Burning and Bleeding. This is in case I can't really crit the enemies, like they're creatures, maulers, and they're a little bit more difficult to get the critical hits on. You're going to lose out on that explosion damage from these mods, but it's a good way to get consistent dots on them. You could also use Death Shield with Fortress, however, this weapon does not have status power on it. And like I said in my previous video, I have not gotten a second one in order to kind of test Fortress on these other weapons here and see if it's better to go for one status effect with Fortress or to have both status effects. For our armor, we've got the Seismic Commander helmet with Icicle Storm, which is going to give us a nice added damage to defeating enemies with Cold Snap. Our chest is Seismic Commander's armor, which we've got Hail Shot on here, increasing your turret's damage based on your status power. This is a must. On our legs, we've got Tainted Blood, which is the tier 3 that drops on these legs, and I've also put Captain Hunter here. You could swap out Captain Hunter for something else, but I like to get that extra damage towards elites. Euthanizer could also be a really nice play here as well. And then on our gloves, we've got Shatter and Radical Therapy. And then on our boots, we've got Twins for the double cryo turret and bullet kindling. Over on our skills, we've got Bladed Turret, Cold Snap, and Cryo Turret. And then onto our class tree, instead of going down the middle like we did in my previous video, we're actually going to go down through the bottom. And there's a couple reasons here. We want to get this node to inflict toxic with our melee in addition to cryo, because sometimes the blighted turret doesn't hit the enemy that you're trying to hit, or it takes too long for it to activate and get those status effects on the enemies. So being able to melee, cryo everything, and toxic everything is a really great bonus. Plus, we're going to get that nice 15% resistance piercing, which is going to help everything hit harder. Our status effects are going to hit harder, our turrets, etc. And we get a little bit more anomaly power as well. And that's going to be it, guys. And now you're going to see the Boom Town gold run on your screen. I had a couple bad modifiers, but that's going to happen with every run. I tested my original skill tree versus this new one, and I also tested wearing the set versus not wearing the set. And this was my best run. The other runs were around 7.5 minutes, so not too far off if you don't have all the pieces or if you're running something different. But this was the gold run for me. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. I'm going to let the gameplay play out so you guys can see how this works and how you want to group up enemies and use your Cold Snap to get those huge damage explosions. Excuse my controller aim. I do use an Xbox controller, so the aim assist in this game is a little rough. It does pull your reticle towards their center mass, so it's a little bit more difficult to get critical hits. So if you're on mouse and keyboard, this build is probably going to be even more amazing for you, to be honest. But hopefully we'll get some updates to the aim settings in the future. I know that's something they had on their roadmap, but we haven't really heard much because of all the inventory restoration stuff that they're working on. I hope we hear something soon because I really want to get Techno number 1 back, even though Techno number 2 has far surpassed her at this point in the game. But I know there are so many of you guys that have lost inventory or have bricked characters and you are waiting for that to happen to jump back into the game. So hopefully we'll hear some news here soon and I'll be able to update you guys. I also really hope we hear something about some balance changes. Some of the Techno abilities in particular could use some buffs to our turrets and also tools of destruction, the rockets and minigun. I know so many people that have tried to make builds with that, and while they work at lower challenge tiers, when you get up to challenge tier 15 and you're on the clock trying to do an expedition as fast as possible, those skills have been falling off. And again, Blighted Rounds build for Techno solo is just pretty much by far the best way to go for the most damage. However, this AP Techno build is really awesome, especially on the longer, more open expeditions like the creature ones, and it's really fun in co-op, especially if you have a debuff pyro. You're gonna fly through stuff, and it's been a lot more satisfying for me to run this versus Blighted when I'm playing in co-op. Alright guys, enjoy the rest of the gameplay. I'm gonna let it play out for you guys. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Cullen, the bandit leader's taken care of. Your pass is clear. Where'd these bandits come from anyway?